Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. A lot of people have been asking about Eze. We actually have updates on Eze from Fabrizio and Ben Jacobs, and also a new signing is traveling for his medical. Madueke's medical is already done, but the next signing is already traveling for his medical as well. What a busy day. It's been so busy. We are getting so many here we goes. We're even getting a here we go for a jersey. Yep, an away kit. Arsenal will debut their brand new away kit when they take on AC Milan in Singapore on July 23rd. So many things are happening. We are even announcing kits now, which is fantastic. Keep on going. You can announce the third kit as well, the fourth kit as well. We can keep going. So that is what you're going to wear next week against AC Milan. And do you guys rate that away jersey? Let me know out of 10 what you would give it. Now let's go to the transfer business, because we do need players to wear these shirts, right? We want top players to be wearing this jersey. So Hand of Arsenal has confirmed that Christian Mosquera is now awaiting permission to fly to London to complete a medical for Arsenal Football Club. Both clubs are exchanging documents. So I'm sure he will be traveling tonight, and then he will undergo his medical tomorrow. And hopefully by the end of the week, we've already announced Mosquera, which will be after Madueke, and that will be so many signings already. Like, it's not common that we lose count on how many signings we've gotten. Usually we just know it's Merino and Calafiori, that's it. And then one more signing at the end of the window. Sometimes, it's just Zinchenko and Jesus, and then maybe a signing at the end of the season. This time around, there are actually so many that it's actually being tough to keep up with all of them and what is happening with all of them. But Mosquera, the medical, he's going to be done very, very soon. He's awaiting the we've already gotten a here we go. So he's going to be allowed to travel very soon, probably today, and then tomorrow he undergoes his medical, just like Madueke the last couple of days, and then he will be announced as an Arsenal player. Now, the deal itself, as Fabrizio confirmed here, Arsenal will pay 15 million euros plus add-ons for Christian Mosquera, with the total package under 20 million euros. The player will undergo a medical this week. So as confirmed by Fabrizio as well, the player will undergo a medical this week. I'd expect it to be Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll finally have a backup defender that we can, depend on. We just did a live show, and I talked about players like Tomiyasu and, a very, very good player. But unfortunately, we could not turn to him because he was always injured, and Saliba's had to play so many games because at the same time, Timber's had an ACL injury. At the same time, Ben White has had an injury-prone season. On top of that, you've had, players like Zinchenko on the other side who've also been injured, and we've had so many injuries, so we've never really had the backup for Saliba and Gabriel. There's a time even Kivior's not really a backup for Gabriel. Kivior had to play as a left back because Zinchenko and Tomiyasu are both injured. So we never really had sufficient backups for our centre-backs. We'll finally have a young one, a player who's never been injured before, 21 years of age, ready to come and play for Arsenal. Another player just like Gyökeres has been, crying to come and join Arsenal, which is absolutely fantastic. We want a player like this. This is the kind of player that we want at Arsenal, a player who wants to play for us. And that is very exciting. Let's see how it goes for him at Arsenal. And the deal itself, we thought we were going to pay more than 20 million for him, but no, it's actually 15 million plus add-ons. So we're not even going to get to that 20 million. So once again, well done to Andrea Bata, doing some incredible business so far. Remember, Andrea Bata was not even here the whole of last year. Andrea Bata joined us in like March. So he's only had like 2-3 months to try and get everything done. That's why I wasn't agreeing people saying Andrea Bata so slow and all of that. No, it's not been slow. We've managed to get deals done, new signings, new contracts, and now we're going to also offload players. And at the end of the month, we might actually have already finished all our transfer window by the end of all our transfer business by the end of the month. And it's not just 1 or 2 signings. It's going to be more than 20 deals if you count, the outgoings and all of that, and new contracts, way more than 20 deals. So let's see how it goes. But Mosquera will be our next signing. I cannot wait for him to get started. It's going to be a very entertaining preseason. Now, who is next though? We are happy Gyökeres. Madueke has also joined us, but at the beginning of the transfer window, I said I needed a striker and a backup for Saka, and also a left winger. Or if it's not a backup for Saka, someone who can come and back up Odegaard. That was my wish. So far it's Gyökeres and Madueke, but according to my wish list, there's still one attacker missing. Now, we are very confident that Eze deal is going to happen, and this is the latest on Eberechi Eze. According to Fabrizio, Arsenal still have ongoing contact with Eberechi Eze's agents, with the Gunners hoping that they will be able to negotiate a fee below the release clause with Crystal Palace later in the window. So probably not quite going to happen this week, unless we just out of nowhere go for him right away. But because we are trying to get so many deals done at the same time, and I mean, as I think is available right now, Crystal Palace are now also not going to play in the Europa League. So there's that as well. Maybe that allows us to get him as soon as possible. The negotiations have to take place. As we saw with Gyökeres, we are not just going to pay the money. With Eze as well, if Arsenal don't want to just pay the money, they're going to do the negotiations. They're going to, continue with the talks. We've been told before that Arsenal are willing to give them Josh Nichols in exchange and then plus money. And then we were told that Crystal Palace would be happy with 3 installments. But is that accurate, or have they changed their mind? Was that the case the first time? Did they want, let's say 40 million up front and then the 20 million to be paid in installments? So it's just the whole 60 million, the 8 million in add-ons as well, because they want a package of 68 million. We were told the 8 million could be in add-ons as well. So all that has to be discussed. And you're signing a player from a Premier League team. It's never easy. And you're signing a very, very top player, another international player here, basically the best player at Crystal Palace right now. They already lost their best player last transfer with Olise leaving, and the previous one it was Zaha. Now it could be Eze, and the Gyökeres one, the cost was clear for us. The Eze one, I don't think the cost will be clear. I think Liverpool might also ask for him. Tottenham is out of the list now unless they fail to sign Gibbs White. So this is the one that we're really waiting for. If we get Eze, we are approaching a 10 out of 10 transfer window, and it would be absolutely remarkable. Now for Eze, luckily, just like Gyökeres and just like Mosquera, Eze really wants to join Arsenal. He played for Arsenal before. He might want to stay in London, not move away from London as well. And he has a lot of friends there now. Madueke is also at Arsenal with Saka. There's a picture of Madueke, Saka, and Eze. Could that lure him to Arsenal as well as him playing for Arsenal before and wanting to come back and to prove something? That could all happen. And I think we're also going to get another attacker. I don't think Rodrigo is going to happen, but I think Eze is going to happen. And what a transfer window that would be. I'm imagining, Gyökeres will have all the creation that he wants. He'll have Odegaard there, Nwaneri there, Eze there, Saka. There are like so many players to create for him. And when you sign such kind of players, players like Saliba and Rice look at it, and Saka as well. They're like, wow. Gyökeres, Eze, we're keeping on going. Like, we're not stopping. We're the foot is still on the pedal. We've not given up because we haven't won the league title the last 3 seasons. We're not just going to relax and say, okay, we are happy with top 4, or we are happy with Champions League semi-final, we are happy with Carabao Cup semi-final. It's fine as long as we stay in the top 4. That is what could have happened maybe 15 years ago. But now we're not resting. We know that, okay, bring a more experienced director, bring more players, spend in the positions that we don't really have anyone. Keep on improving on the players that you feel like, have reached their ceiling and you need to improve on them. Keep on adding more players and all that. And that is what we are doing. Finishing the number 2 is painful 3 times in a row, but finishing that second ahead of all these other teams is why we are able to sign this kind of players. That's why players like Gyökeres are like, yep, I want to come and play for Arteta. Players like Eze are like, yeah, I want to come and play for Arsenal. Of course, they know we are that close to winning trophies. We are 1 game away from the Carabao Cup final, 1 game away from the Champions League final. Last 2 seasons ago, we were one game away from winning the Premier League trophy, and we are so close. So adding experienced players like Zubimendi to this team, and now also looking to add Eze, that would be fantastic. Fabrice is not the only one who's given us an update on Eze. We also have an update from Ben Jacobs, who says Arsenal's focus after Victor Gyökeres is formalized is finding an attacking midfielder. We've already been told several times that it's separate. The 2 deals are separate, so that is great news. Eberechi Eze talks will continue this week, with Arsenal set to make a formal approach to Crystal Palace. Arsenal want to understand if a deal is possible away from Eze's release clause. So we are waiting to see whether we can pay but not the release clause, because the release clause is 68 million up front right till you finish all the business. Now, will Crystal Palace want to do that, or they want to wait to see if other teams are ready to activate his release? Because I think for Eze, someone else will definitely come in for him. So it depends on all the personal terms and what we've agreed. He's already agreed to join Arsenal, so that is great. Now, Arsenal basically don't want to pay that 68 million. They want to, maybe pay 30 million up front with maybe 10 million in add-ons and then maybe a player to Crystal Palace, or maybe pay that 60 million in 3-4 different installments and then 8 million in add-ons. Or maybe they want to pay more than that up front, maybe a 50 million up front and then the 8 million the 18 million in add-ons. Remember what we did with Zubimendi? We were supposed to pay 51 million. We went to pay 55 because to allow us to pay in installments. Now, could we be wanting to increase the money for Crystal Palace? Maybe we tell them, hey, we're not actually going to pay you that 68 million. We're going to pay you a guaranteed 70 million, but we have to do it in like 4 installments. Maybe Crystal Palace will be like, okay, the previous offer was what we wanted was 60 million upfront plus 8 million in add-ons. Now they're offering us 70 million total package minus add-ons and 4 installments. Maybe they can agree with that. So all that depends on the negotiations from Andrea Bata and Steve Parish, I think, at Crystal Palace, and a couple of other people. They're currently stressing about not making it in the Europa League, so they have other things going on. And Eze himself, is he going to push as much as Gyökeres has done and Mosquera has done to join us? Let's wait and see. But that is good news. We've been told by the likes of Hand of Arsenal, all these deals are separate. Eze is not related to Madueke. Eze is not related to Gyökeres deals. It's all separate. So it's going to be a busy week. Do I expect us to get it done this week? Probably not. Now, the first game is in 10 days. We have a game this weekend against Watford behind closed doors, but I would expect all the other players to feature in that game. And then against AC Milan, hopefully by the time we at least by the middle of Asia tour. I mean, I remember Zinchenko joined after we already started playing over in the USA. So let's hope that it could be the same with Eze, and he's here this month. That would be great. Let's let him not miss too many preseason games. I'm hoping he will be here by then. That is what we definitely need. So that is the latest on Eze. There's been a lot of questions on him. Very, very good news on him, and we are definitely cooking. Andrea Bat is definitely cooking. We discussed on the live show players like Nelson and Trossard potentially leaving because of all these deals happening. Nwaneri new contract is also on the way. Things are looking good. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.